Wow. We're also getting through the NFL preseason, so it's time for some preseason proclamations. We've seen every team at least once. Peter, start us off.
As much as you could say it from a preseason performance, the Cowboys' defense was as good as advertised. They beefed it up, and I'll tell you what, they opened up with a drive where they gave up a touchdown. The rest of the game, Seahawks had 49 yards. But beyond the practice and all this stuff with that, this team is loaded. They added Von Miller. They're going to be significantly better than they were a year ago.
I buy it. Again, you don't overreact to the preseason game, and no one is pretending to. The reality is the pieces they've put together, J-Mac, if they've got the right man, mixing the ingredients, they've all of a sudden got some pieces to work with.
And I think to Schrager's point, the preseason, you want to build a mentality, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Christian Parker, you want these guys to learn how to attack. I don't care if my starters are in or the fourth-string guys that are going to potentially be on the practice squad. There's a foundation that's being built there in Dallas that you like what you see so far from the defensive side of the ball. Now, will Caleb Downs be the superstar that we've all seen throughout training camp and what everyone's talking about?
And if they can stay healthy, they've built this defense, it seems like, from the middle out. They're very strong right down the spine. They added the rookie Downs, who I think is better than I even thought from the clips that we've seen in practice and some of the stuff that he's done in the preseason games. I think this defense, if nothing else, they're going to, with the talent they have, they're going to be average, like around average, I think, and potentially even better if they can have some explosive plays, if Lawrence can rush off the edge, if they can have those type of guys to create sacks, and they added Von Miller. If he can close out games, the defense could be a lot better.
They should be playing games from in front. There's nothing better for a defense, obviously, than playing games with the lead, and with that offense, in theory, they should be doing a lot of that. So that's one preseason proclamation. Dominique, give me another.
I proclaim that Shedeur Sanders should start for the Browns, and it shouldn't be Deshaun Watson. Like, rewatching that game, or at least rewatching Deshaun Watson snaps over and over again, I didn't see something that I felt like is going to make this team a real competitor. Like, it doesn't make sense to me to put Deshaun Watson out there. There is little to no chance that Deshaun Watson is the future in Cleveland. The future in Cleveland is either Shedeur Sanders or it's going to be in the draft. You don't find out if Shedeur Sanders is the future or not unless you put him out on the field. He's going to be willing to take risks, take shots down the field to try to earn this job, and I don't see that out of Deshaun Watson.
What do you think of that?
I don't think Shedeur played as bad as people want to make it out to be. Like, he got in, first pass of the game, throws it to the sideline, awesome pass, but then he fumbles the snap on the next one. We saw the third down convert. You saw kind of a mixed bag of a young quarterback. I think when you look at this competition, yes, the veteran played better in the first preseason game. I think this is still a competition. That's the overreaction to me in the preseason game where Deshaun Watson plays well, and it's like, already just give him the job and Shedeur's done. Let him have a good week of practice. Their joints against Buffalo, it'll be a huge week for him.
What is your sense, Peter, of what they're thinking? What is their plan?
The early read has been that Deshaun Watson has taken the majority of the number one snaps, and that Deshaun Watson got the start in the first preseason game, so that Deshaun Watson is likely going to start. But the other theory is it's going to be a long season in Cleveland. Yeah. There is 17 games they have to play. Shedeur will see the field. At some point, Shedeur will see the field. That said, we talk about it all the time here on this show. Next year, they've got a bounty of draft picks in the first round. The clock is ticking on both of them. So for Shedeur, every practice matters, every game matters, and if he goes out there and he lights it up against the Bills, it certainly helps his cause. Not only for the week one starter job, which I think might be slipping away, but overall as he's putting stuff on film.
It's an interesting point that you're making, though, because in the big picture, the most important thing they can do is figure out if their quarterback of the future is on their roster. And for all intents and purposes, we know that isn't Deshaun Watson.
Right, yeah. And it does seem like it's a long shot for either of them. It's going to be really hard to pass up on this draft that people love, and they have several picks in, and they're likely to be pretty high. It's going to be hard to pass up on either of those or any of those quarterbacks there. If they're going to win this job, like long term, one of those guys is going to have to be awesome. And I see Shedeur Sanders as a guy who's willing to be aggressive and willing to take shots. That's not who Deshaun Watson is right now.
I think to Nick's point, though, like, that's the scary part of it all, because if your starting quarterback is on a roster, Deshaun Watson shouldn't be the starting quarterback week one. Like, if we believe Shedeur can be those things, he should be able to beat out Deshaun Watson in training camp and go be the week one starter.
A little later in the show, we're going to show you Mel released his top 10 players in this year's college class, at least before the season begins. 3 of them are quarterbacks. You'll see who they are. So you'll get a sense of why everyone's so excited about this draft. But I need one more preseason proclamation, J-Mac.
Can we all just take a deep breath? I know it's been so long since football is here. It's been 1 week of the preseason. After 1 week, I've heard every rookie quarterback in the NFL is going to be a Pro Bowler this year.
Right.
And then all the quarterbacks stink. Cam Ward sucks, can't throw the ball into the sea. And Tua Tagovailoa is just an awful quarterback. And Stefanski will never have good quarterback play. Let's all just pump the brakes. I know we've waited a very long time for football. It's here. We're still determining what's going to be what.
Okay, so that's fine. Look, that's it.
Now let's go overreact.
I've got 2 caveats. Okay. 1, Cade Klubnik. 2, I'm not overreacting to that one. 2, maybe they really do have a problem in Atlanta. Because that's one where it's not so much, oh, how shocking that they have a quarterback situation in Atlanta. Maybe they really do have a problem in Atlanta.
Look, the new staff, which is not just Kevin Stefanski, but it brings in an entire staff, they inherited Michael Penix. That was not their pick. That was not the GM's pick. So already that's a losing battle for Penix. He's got to have to overcome that. Tua is on a contract where the Dolphins are paying the majority of his money. It's almost like, let's see what we have this year. And I know Atlanta fans are saying, we want to go Super Bowl. We got Bijan, we got Pitts, we got London. What are you talking about? Let's see what we got this year. But let's see how this goes. And then if we have to start anew next year, that's fine. Penix is not out of this competition. Penix has been injured. Penix has had issues going under center. But let's see him in Stefanski's offense. Let's see how he adjusts with Tommy Reese. Let's see how he does with someone other than the Zach Robinson pistol. 3 guys out there on the west side and then 3 guys on the east side. Let's see how it goes. You like that football talk?
I do.
West side, east side. But it was a very quirky offense at times for Penix under center, and it wasn't much. It was all over the pistol last year.
Yeah, and I see this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, in general, let's see how this plays out before we immediately close the door on either one of these.
Yeah, and I see the situation similar to the Brown situation with a lot more talent there, whereas this new staff and the front office and the coaching staff, these aren't their guys, and they are expecting to build something long term. They have time to build. The pressure on the quarterbacks is not the same pressure that's on the coaches and the GM.
Here's why I see it a little differently. The Falcons could be good. The Browns are building from the ground up. They have good rookies last year. They're trying to build something for the future. The Falcons are in a division that the winning record last year was 8-9. And this should a team that should be making the playoffs this year if they get any reasonable quarterback play.
Yeah, I think they expect that too if they get any reasonable quarterback play. But I don't think they have any commitment to either of these quarterbacks in any case. Like they have the runway to build something there that in their own image. These are not players that they wanted necessarily. I'm sure they're happy to have Bijan, extended him. They're happy to have the talent there, but the clock just started for them. They don't feel that pressure.
I would think the comp is more Minnesota than Cleveland in that Minnesota also has this quarterback situation where it's like someone else drafted that quarterback. I know Kevin was the coach, but Kwesi was the guy at the GM spot, and then we inherit Kyler for next to nothing. So let's see what we have here in this offense.
In the meantime, sneaky big news, and this was awful. I felt sick when I saw this yesterday. If you followed through the draft, Saints rookie wide receiver Jordan Tyson could be out 2 months with a right hamstring injury he sustained during a joint practice with the Jaguars last week. He caught a pass, he landed awkwardly. It is a shame because this is a player who is so talented and had the injury history in college. And this was the big question mark. He's really never had a season in which he has played all the way through healthy. That was in college, and now we have this. When he's been on the field, all reports have been that he's looked so
lining
good.
up, and he's lining up, and the Saints were the sexy team for everyone. I'll tell you this about